Legends, episode 30. I'm your host, Eric, and I'm joined as always by Kayla.
Guys.
And that's it. It's just the two of us here for episode 30. We are breaking down June.
Two-man show for June.
Yeah,
June Showdown.
the June Showdown, sure. June is shaping up to be a real interesting month. We've got a lot of big video game announcements. We'll get to that, and a lot of cool media. Before we get to all of that, let's talk a little bit about all the stuff we were checking out. We had an episode like this in May. We mentioned how jam-packed May was with a lot of cool stuff, and we tried to hit it all. We did a lot in May. Obviously, we just did our Resident Evil two-part spoiler cast, so Resident Evil Village took up some time in our May. But what else have we been up to, Kayla?
We have been up to a lot of things. You brought up the May Showdown, and I don't really think too many of these things were listed on there, though. I guess at least half of them were. But what we have been checking out lately, I don't know. Should I just list these things? There's like so many. I kind of want to talk about them. Do we want to score them?
Well, let's just list them out and then pick out a couple gems.
Okay. So we watched the Mitchells versus the Machines, which is a animated, cutesy little movie. We watched all 4 seasons of Castlevania. We watched A Quiet Place 2. We played Mortal Kombat 9, Mortal Kombat 10, Mortal Kombat 11. We watched Army of the Dead, Woman in the Window, Those Who Wish Me Dead, Bombshell, and Without Remorse. We watched a lot of movies. A lot.
Yeah, and we're about midway through Mayor of Easttown
Yes.
too.
Oh, yes. See, I didn't write
Yeah, we're really killing it. May has been quite the month. We're on into June. What stood out for you out of all that?
that. Definitely Castlevania. It's the winner for me for May. Um, it was. I've never played any of the games, so I don't really have anything to compare it to. I've also never really watched any anime style shows, movies, or anything, comics, anything. So this was my like first dip of the toe, and I was cannonballing real fast.
Yeah, we got to binge. I had previously watched the first 3 seasons and then rewatched them with you and then on to the 4th season.
I loved
And
it.
yeah, it did not
I would
disappoint,
watch it
man.
again.
Yeah, I mean, they're snappy too. They're like 25, 30-minute episodes. There's maybe in the 4 seasons, there's maybe a total of fewer than like 40 episodes, I think, total.
For the
Um,
whole series?
for the whole series, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, and they're, 25-ish minute episodes. So, it's a snappy watch if
It's fun. Yeah, it moves quickly. It's entertaining. It's cute and funny and heartbreaking.
like you said, it's done in like an anime style, but it doesn't have, for an anime novice like both of us are, I think it's something that you can sink your teeth into regardless.
Yeah,
Pun intended.
it's it's a smooth. It's very just very easy.
Yeah. And at the end of the month, we checked out A Quiet Place 2, actually ventured into our local theater, see it in IMAX, had to. And that was my most anticipated thing of May. I mentioned in our May episode, and that didn't disappoint either. I thought that was excellent. I'm still,
Yeah, I did too.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know if we've had the conversation yet. First or second, which was better. It's hard to make a sequel better than that debut. But what did you think? I mean, comparing the two.
I would put them as equals. Do I have to pick one that was better?
No, I'm having a
It's
tough time.
so it's such a linear story. It's very connected. It picks up right there. So it's even hard to distinguish when the story becomes Quiet Place Part 2.
Yeah, yeah. I think
There
they
it is, but
I think I liked how they expanded the story. I mean, let's not, spoil anything, but you get a little bit to see some origins of, some things, and yeah, like you said, it's very linear. It kind of picks up right where you left off in a lot of ways. So, and introduce some new characters too. So,
yeah, that
um,
was definitely my second favorite thing that we have watched in May or played.
yeah, yeah, and I think there were some surprises. I had no idea with the Mitchells versus the Machines. I don't think we mentioned it at all, and I think it may have came out actually, may have released before May. We watched it in
May
May.
have. True,
Yeah.
true. I saw Mitchell's versus the Machines. The only time I heard about it, I saw Katy Berry post it on Facebook.
Yeah, you're right. I think that might have opened my eye too. Friend of the show, Katie. In fact, contributor to the show, Katie, I should say. And so I'm glad she posted she was checking it out because that's one worth checking out. I think it's got a lot going on. It's a very kinetic movie. It's loud. It's fast. It's references.
Colorful, it's very beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
It's
fun.
it's
It's about
definitely
a little disjointed family trying to survive when robots took over the world.
yeah.
So it's fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So definitely
Teenagers.
recommend that one. Recommend Castlevania and Equip 2 as well.
Is there anything in this list that you would say is you wouldn't recommend?
You know what? Woman in the Window was kind of a disappointment for me. It that cast, I mean, we talked about it a lot in our May episode. Amy Adams and Gary Oldman, and I mean, just on and on and on. Julianne Moore. And there's some decent performances there, but I think overall that's not a movie I would recommend. It was a little long. The twists and turns that it had were a little weird. Some odd decision making, I think. So not. I think out of we named a million things on there. Plenty of hours and hours of content. Go play like Resident Evil Village or something instead, or or check out Four Seasons Castlevania. Or
My least favorite that we watched in May was Those Who Wish Me Dead. Not that I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but it's my least favorite. It had the least like excitement going on. Like the most exciting thing was like, shit, there's a fire in California in the mountains. It's terrible. And everything else was kind of
I'd say that one is just kind of the easiest watch. It reminded me a lot of just like mid to late '90s like
action
dumb
movies. Yeah,
action movies.
it's an action movie with some sentimental heart, you know, stuff.
Yeah, yeah. If you just want an hour and a half of stuff on fire, some shooties and stuff and whatnot, like you could do worse. But yeah, no, it wasn't anything over the top.
Who was the sheriff? Is that John Bernthal?
John Bernthal, yeah,
Best
yeah.
performance in there though.
I think so. Yeah, he
He
stood out
did
a little
nice. Him
bit.
and his wife I like.
Yeah, that was fun. There were a couple
Yeah.
standout. I think Aidan Gillen from like Littlefinger from Game of Thrones.
Hmm.
He played a hitman in that one. Pretty decent performance. I liked him as the kind of the main
He's
bad guy.
Weasley.
Yeah,
He plays that
exactly.
well. Okay, that's what we've checked out, guys. Let us know what what you have watched or played in May. I want to hear what you recommend.
But we got to get to June.
Yes.
We got a
Showdown.
lot going on. We've got it broken down into the June release calendar as well as we've got a June events calendar. There's some really interesting gaming and let's call geek events coming out. So we'll touch on that in the second part. But the first part will be very much like we've broken down April and May previously. Just going down the list day by day of big releases in June movies, TV, video games. Let's get it going. The first thing here that we have is Vivo. It's an animated musical coming to Netflix on June 4th. This is written and starring Lin-Manuel Miranda. Uh, Major Coco vibes. What did you think of the trailer, Kayla?
Major Coco vibes. This is a Sony production that was sold to Netflix, right?
Right, right.
But it looks just like Coco. It's kind of it like really threw me back that it wasn't Disney Pixar.
Yeah, it's got that Pixar colorful vibe. Seems like music is gonna be a big part. It's got a Latin flair thing going on. Looks like the main character, Lin Manuel Miranda's character's like a bear. I think he's a bear, like a little bear, a little monkey,
Yeah,
maybe.
he's a small. Did he have a tail?
I think he had a tail. I think he had a tail. Yeah,
He was like
but
yellowy gray.
yeah, we'll get to figure out what
It was
he
the
is.
short. It was like a 30-second trailer, which was really surprising that this comes out. This will come out on June 4th. So we don't really know anything about it.
Yeah, Netflix is usually pretty intense with their trailers. You see most of the movie, but luckily for this one, left something to be desired. We'll see.
Yes, I like trailers like this.
Looks to be fun for the whole family there. Some musical stuff.
Also on June 4th, we have The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. And this will be released in theaters.
Yeah, so in the long running Conjuring series, I think there's like, my gosh, 7 or 8 of these movies.
I was going to ask you how many there were.
There are a lot. There's some with the Conjuring title, like there's I think the Conjuring 1 and the Conjuring 2, and then this is also with the Conjuring title. But then there's like,
Annabelle,
yeah, Annabelle, and I think there's like Curse of La Llorona. I mean, there's like,
Malraux,
yeah.
The Legends.
Uh, there's just a lot in the series, but it's a series that like continually makes money. It has a big fan base, and they
Shit
just keep.
creeps me out. It does make me like uncomfortable in my own skin when I watch those movies. So,
Yeah, I put it on the list because like I feel like at some point we're not gonna go to theaters and check this movie out. I don't think, but like it's definitely a movie I would check out once it hits a streamer or something. And then also like I do have this idea of, all right, at some point I'd like to just sit down and maybe watch like all of the Conjuring movies because it is one universe. I guess there's
yeah.
references, to each of them, and it's I forget the paranormal investigators that like it's about. So it's about like the Laurens, I don't know. I
Lawrence
forget their
does kind of
name.
sound
It's
familiar.
something like that. It's like,
It's the Wilson brother. Wilson.
yeah.
Third Wilson.
Yeah, it's the third Wilson. Um and that's also on June 4th. So we had Vivo, we had The Conjuring, Devil Made Me Do It. Also, Sweet Tooth, a pretty interesting series is coming to Netflix. This is based on a DC comic, and it's being produced by Team Downey, which is Robert Downey Jr. and Susan Downey, his wife, and looks pretty interesting. We checked out the trailer today. I wasn't aware of it until making the script and everything. But yeah, what did you think of that, Kayla?
I think it's in multiple ways one hell of a crossover because Robert Downey Jr., DC, that's a crossover right there. And then, so this movie is about hybrid children, and the hybrid is random animals, it seems, in humans. So the main character is like a deer boy. So he's walks upright on 2 legs, but he has like cute fuzzy ears and antlers and a button nose.
Yeah, yeah. So it's got that hybrid nature, and it looks like I don't know what it's post-apocalyptic. Like it seems like it's set after they mention a virus. They mention there's like maybe limited amount of humanity left, that type of thing, and that they're hunting these hybrids, these animal human hybrids.
First,
And so the tone was a little hard to grasp from the trailer because it
yeah.
seems kind of cute in
Sweet
some
Tooth is cute
ways.
as hell. It's just a bunch of cute little baby, human baby, animal baby hybrids.
Right, right. But I think they're being like hunted like
Yeah,
violently.
they're the scum of the earth. It does seem very violent. I actually wouldn't recommend watching the trailer, um, because I think it shows too much. It is a series, so a limited series, right? There's a
I
like
don't know. I don't know that they
it's just
use
said a
that. Yeah,
series.
just a
Okay.
series. Yeah.
Um, I hate when things show you way too much in the trailer, and I feel like this does that. So let's just not watch it.
So that's Sweet Tooth, June 4th. It's based on a fairly long running comic series, I think over like 45 issues. So there's probably, a lot they can do if it's going to be a long running, if it's a success. June 9th. This one is, like I said, Quiet Place 2 was my most anticipated of last month. I think Loki on Disney Plus on June 9th is probably, top of my list this month. What do you think?
Absolutely. For me, it's absolutely.
Yeah, the every like teaser and trailer they've released so far just has looked so cool. Looks like it's gonna mess with time, different dimensions. Uh, Owen Wilson looks like a lot of fun. He's gonna be the head of some kind of organization that tries to keep Loki and time travel and all that multiverse stuff in check.
Yeah, he looks like he's got a bit of I don't want to use the term swag, but I didn't want to use the term like attitude either, but he's got like a certain authority.
He doesn't seem intimidated at all by Loki. He seems like, oh yeah, this
Which
I deal with this all the day.
I just feel
Gods,
like
whatever.
that's what I know Owen Wilson as. He's kind of always just a little down on himself in movies and TV shows and such. It's a little different.
Yeah, yeah, that supreme confidence kind of thing's
Yeah,
a different
yeah.
role.
Confident. That's a good term.
Yeah, so that's Loki. We're gonna almost assuredly have a full-on spoiler cast and review for that series. That's hitting. So Disney Plus had been doing Fridays for all their shows. And they're moving to Wednesday. So June 9th is going to kick it off. That's a Wednesday, and it will be a weekly recurring show on Wednesdays. A little bit different for Disney Plus, their main shows.
Then on Friday, June 11th, we have Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart for the PS5.
Yeah,
Only the PS5.
exclusive.
Damn.
I know,
I was
I
like
know.
reading this, like, yeah, I want to play this. I'm gonna announce this one because I want to play it. And nope, you're not gonna get to do that. But that's okay. I've got plenty of things. I will play it. Um,
Fellow cast member Aaron might be nice enough
ooh,
to borrow us, or at least let us come over maybe and play it on his shiny new
I would
PS5.
I would play that with Parker and Lucy.
Right.
They might I might just want to watch it. Ratchet and Clank was hard for me. I had to put it on easy.
Yeah, that's a game you can kind of watch. I mean, I watched you play it. I barely played any of it when we played the reboot of the first Ratchet and Clank. And it was a
It
game
looks
I just enjoyed
it does look
watching.
cute. I love the new character design in it. She's like I think it's a female,
I think so.
but different colored, got some stripes in her furry ears. It's cute.
Yeah, that one looks
Earrings.
so beautiful, and
It does. Ugh. So PS5 is probably I mean the way you want to play it. It's very colorful.
yeah, definitely. Have really touted that they're going to take advantage of the hardware in the PS5, and it's all about rifts. Rifts apart is the subtitle and stuff. So you're tearing holes in the fabric of space or whatever else. You're
Which
going through
confuses me.
portals. Sure, yeah. There's probably gonna be some time travel
I don't
stuff
do
or
well.
multiverse stuff, that kind of thing. But every little bit of gameplay and stuff. Sony had the state of play recently where they showed off a lot of gameplay, and it just looks great. It's a real shame that
Play it.
we'll play it
We'll
eventually.
get there. Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll
There's
get there.
plenty of stuff for us to do while we wait.
Yeah, yeah, we're not starved for content. No way. Also on June 11th, In the Heights, another musical, not an animated one this time, but another Lin Manuel Miranda joint. I put it on the script because that's coming to HBO Max and theaters. It's really anticipated, highly anticipated. I think it was pushed back a lot because of the pandemic and everything else. And musicals are not a genre that I'm normally interested in. But then I saw La La Land and it became one of my favorite movies of all time. So I want to give things like In the Heights a chance. I think I'll wait a little while till the buzz, give it a week, see if people are digging it, seeing if it's you know, hot stuff. See if it's like a Hamilton or anything like that, or gosh, a La La Land maybe. But yeah, I want to at least mention it because I think that one's even if it's not for us, I think that's going to be a big one.
Yeah, I don't think I've watched very much of Lin-Manuel Miranda's work at all. I can't really think of anything where he was like a main producer or a part of it. He's been maybe characters and little things, but nothing like carrying the show. So, hey, we'll check it out. But I agree. I'll wait for the buzz. I'm not like super pumped to see it. I'm not going to see it in theaters. Um, but it's got a bunch of unknown actors in it. I can't think of anybody that I've seen that was recognizable. So
Yeah, I was looking into the story a little bit because like the trailers are very just like loud and musical and everything
colorful. They're
else.
very colorful.
Oh yeah, it looks like it's at least going to be a ton
I
of
love a
like
city
fun.
setting too.
Well, it's interesting. So, I guess the story generally is a guy wins the lottery or comes into money, and it's going to be his decision wrestling with like leaving the Heights. And like I think he has like a local store, a bodega, and it's going to be him grappling with like leaving his neighborhood, and everything else, everything that comes with family and neighborhood and all
I had
that.
no
So
idea that's what it was
I know, like
about.
the trailers don't tell you
I
anything
just
like
thought it was
that,
about like kids in high school dealing with living in the heights,
right?
wanting to like it seems like the female lead in that like wants to be like maybe a fashion designer or something. They show her one time like making clothes and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Who knows how deep it'll end up being, but at least from the little synopsis I was reading, I was like, oh, okay, there's a little more here than just like silly musical. So that's In the Heights, June 11th, along with Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. More Disney Plus. Luca on June 18th. That'll be Disney Plus and theaters. It's not going to be Premiere Access, which is real great. That one's going to hit and be streamable for anyone
So
with Disney
exciting.
Plus. Yeah, that one
I'm
looks real
excited
cool.
about that movie. I think it looks really cute.
Yeah, so it's like fish people, right? Like
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 mer people,
mer
kind of.
people. That's a good one.
Transformable. Maybe we can't call them mer people because it seems like they only turn into fishes and they're in the water. Like they can
Right.
walk and stuff, but on land.
Right. But yeah, it just seems like a fun, Disney colorful Pixar type movie. Probably some,
Yeah.
more good music and
Looks like
you know,
a young trio, three young kids, I mean.
yeah, I think it's set in or at least like it looks to be set in like either like Italy or
Grease.
Greece.
Yeah, gives
Yeah.
me some Grease vibes.
Major like island or something
Mhm.
like that
Mhm.
vibes or a lot of water.
Beautiful. Rocky.
Yeah, so that's Luca on June 18th.
Then on June 20th, we have another personally anticipated
Mm.
Rick and Morty season 5. Um, I'm excited. I can't wait. It comes out on Father's Day, so I assume that we're going to have like a fun themed episode.
Oh man, I didn't put that together.
I was putting these down in my calendar here and I was like, "Ooh, look at that." The ones I wanted to watch.
That's awesome. Yeah, this is probably number 2 after Loki for me. I love Rick and Morty. It stinks how long these seasons take to come out, and they've done them so scattershot. I think it was season 4 was cut into like 2 halves, released and stuff, and who knows how season 5 will be cut up and everything else.
Yeah, which is strange. I remember like after season 3, like a big contract got signed for like I felt like close to 100 episodes, maybe more than 100
I
episodes.
think it was like in the I
It was
think it
a
was
big
under
chunk.
yeah, it was like 60 or something or 70. Yeah, it was a lot. It was
And
like
then
a
it was
big
like,
number.
"Oh, hey, here's part of a season a year later. Oh, here's the second part of that season a year later. And oh, okay, now we're on to season 5." So it's just kind of strange. I felt like I was gonna get a lot of stuff, but it's been slow.
Yeah, I know Mike was saying on a previous episode that he had heard or seen an interview that it takes, I guess, a lot to write these episodes, animate them, and everything else. I guess it's like a small team or whatever,
Yeah, the
and
same voice actor as Rick and Morty, right?
I believe so.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
simplifies scheduling, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, but Chris Parnell is hard to get for what the hell's the dad's name?
Not Andy.
No, but he looks like an Andy. I don't know.
Oh man, what's his
I
name?
know.
Jerry. His name's
Jerry,
Jerry.
Jerry. Yeah, Jerry. Oh, good old Jerry. So that's Rick and Morty season 5 hitting Adult Swim on June 20th.
The first day of summer and Father's Day.
Nice, nice. So celebrations all around. June 25th. Quite a few things coming out June 25th. We just checked out the trailer for Mario Golf Super Rush. A lot of the trailers released for this a little while back and just wasn't on my radar. But pretty highly anticipated game, and now that we've checked it out, I think we're probably gonna get this one. This one's
Yeah,
coming
it
to the
looked like a lot of
Switch.
fun. Now, this is a long trailer that I was satisfied by because it was, the intro, and then it was like, but this is Mario, so you're gonna play games. Bigger than golf. While you play golf, you're gonna race to your golf ball and try to get it in there, and you're gonna go on an obstacle course, and it seemed crazy. It seemed like a lot of fun.
Yeah, the beginning was just a pretty, like, fairly straightforward, like, okay, it's golf, and it
You can
looked
use
pretty
your
deep.
Joy-Con.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty deep golf game, and I was
Yeah.
kind of not feeling it because I'm like, I don't really like golf. I don't watch golf. I don't play golf. And then they got into, oh, you can also use motion controls. And I was like, okay, yeah, that looks fun. I'd rather use the motion controls than like these deep systems of buttons, and because it looked really deep. Oh, you can curve the ball, you can do this, you can set markers, you can use a scope, you could like it seemed really intense. Then they got into the motion controls and like, okay, that seems like more fun, like more of a party game. And then like you said, midway through it was like a tone shift. They're like, but wait, there's more, and there's speed golf, and there's battle golf, and there's all these cool things. Like speed golf was you all play golf at the exact same time, and then you run after the ball. It's like,
Of course, there's like super moves that you have to get past each other, um, or through each other, or whatever you want to do. Everybody has their own super move.
yeah, and it's a Mario game, so it's all the characters you know.
Bananas,
Yeah, you had Mario and you had Toad and Bomb and
Bowser,
Bowser.
Peach,
Yeah, so all
Daisy.
16 characters, I think they said total. So it looked, and they showed most of them.
There was a couple I didn't recognize too, but I'm not very well versed in the uh, Mushroom Kingdom. A Pauline, and then there was like maybe a rocket kind of looking dude,
Oh, that was the
mustache.
Bullet Bill. Yeah, Bullet Bill. Yeah, he's a big bullet. He's been around. He's an OG. Pauline or Paulina, I'm not as familiar with. But
It's fun. I want to check it out.
yeah, get our Switch going.
Yeah.
Definitely looks like a fun party game we can get
Yeah.
together.
Also coming out on June 25th, we have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 combo pack.
Coming to the Switch for the first time.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so it's previously been released on consoles and maybe PC. I'm not exactly sure if they've put it on PC at this point, but it's the remaster, ground up remaster of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Came out way back in the day on, PlayStation and N64, but they got a brand new coat of paint, mess with the mechanics a little bit. They look really great, but I haven't had a reason to get the game yet on, like Xbox or anything else, but I think getting it on Switch is going to be the way to go. To play multiplayer, to play on the go. I think it's the perfect console for the game. And I remember when the original came out, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 specifically, I had it on the N64, and I mean, awesome memories of like having, cast member Josh over and stuff like that and playing just hours and hours of
Collecting those tapes,
yeah, exactly. Collecting the letters, the tapes, finding little secret areas and
doing an
stuff.
ollie.
Yeah, yeah. Good times. Also on the 25th, we got to mention it cuz it's going to be the biggest movie of the summer, no doubt. F9, Fast and the Furious 9.
Family's despair.
Introducing John Cena to the Fast universe, a universe that also contains Helen Mirren and Charlize Theron for some reason. What did you think of that trailer?
It's fast. It was furious. There was lots of explosions and um, flying cars. Um, it. I'm not interested in those movies. It's wild. I know John Cena is supposed to be like Vin Diesel's brother, and he like betrayed him, and now he's like out to get him, and he's like some big bad dude.
Yeah, I think that explains it well enough. So June 25th, action packed, two fun Switch games, and F9. uh,
Then to round out June, we have Zola coming to theaters for June 30th.
yeah, I remember checking out this trailer, gosh, about 2 months ago, maybe when it originally hit. Mike from the pod, he was like, "Man, you gotta check this out," and I was not aware of the backstory whatsoever. So the trailer is nuts. The trailer is just like, I don't
Living
know.
fast.
Yeah, it's following these two what seem to be exotic dancers getting into some crime shit, right? Like it just seems like some wild gangster stuff, but it's based on a Rolling Stone article that was written about a Twitter thread, like 140 plus tweets in a Twitter thread about this story. It's the story of two strippers who met each other and went on a wild ride in America. So
Check out the trailer. It's hard to explain.
it really is. Yeah, that'll hit June 30th. It's a limited release initially in theaters, so that might be something you gotta go to the city for or something like that. I don't know what the on demand is going to be for that, but it's being produced by A24, and they've produced a lot of my favorite things in recent years, like Ex Machina was probably the first film that I saw from A24. So they haven't missed. So I think if they're putting their muscle behind it, I'm gonna check this one out. That's Zola.
That wraps up all of the June releases that we are aware of right now that we thought were worthy to mention.
Right. Everything we're gonna be checking out except F9.
Right, right. I mean, it might be on and I'll like stand there and watch it for a
I've
second, but then
yeah,
just
I've seen a couple of
walk
the
away.
Fury, the Fast and Furious
But
movies.
so now let's move on to the June events. We have a lot of events happening in June that are going to be trailers, announcements, Summer Game Fest, like lots of things where there's just going to be a wealth of stuff. So much stuff.
So much stuff.
And it's
Yeah,
all in 1 week. It's going to be overwhelming.
it is. It's I mean from June 7th to June 15th, there is going to be so much. We're going to learn so much about the upcoming world of like video games, series, movies, etc. I mean, so much in that time, starting with from June 7th to June 11th, Netflix announced something called they're calling Geeked Week. So this is movies, comics, fantasy, sci-fi, animation, and gaming. So far, they've been a little cagey with the details. There was a poster produced and social media pages, and they've been trickling out little things here and there. But on the poster that they've released for this Geek Week, so there's apparently there's going to be trailers, there's going to be announcements, you know, information on all of these products that they're putting out for Netflix. We've got Masters of the Universe Revelation. So that's the new He-Man reboot, helmed by Kevin Smith. You got Lucifer, long-running show on Netflix. New seasons of that announced. The Umbrella Academy moving to season 3, so there'll be some information there. The Witcher season 2. We're going to get some information about that. The Sandman, which is going to be an adaptation of the Neil Gaiman, the Cuphead show, an animated show based on the game Cuphead. If anyone's played that very difficult video game. The new Resident Evil show, Infinite Darkness. We're going to get some information about that. That's a full CG anime show. Sweet Tooth, we mentioned that coming June 4th. We're going to get some more information on that. And a really highly anticipated show, Cowboy Bebop. They're doing a. I'm not sure actually if this is going to. I know it's live action, but I'm not sure if this is going to be a show or a movie, if that's officially been announced, but we'll probably hear
We'll
that.
find out more. Stay tuned.
Right, right. So that's Netflix Geek Week. What do you probably The Witcher, right?
I am
That's
most excited
yeah.
for The Witcher. Um, we just watched the Resident Evil trailer a little bit ago. I believe that's coming out in July, early July, like the 7th or the 8th.
You're right.
It looks interesting. It seems to take place after the events of Resident Evil 2.
Between 4 and 5, I think is what I
Okay,
saw.
at least
Yeah.
after. At least
Yeah,
after
definitely.
2.
Yeah, yeah.
They talked about Raccoon City, so shit has already happened, and it just seems like they're in the depth of working for the man.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to follow Leon and Claire again, the protagonists from RE2. And I think it's after 4 because in 4 Leon is working for the president. He's like on the Secret Service and stuff, and it seems like it is making references to that in some way, shape, or form.
Check it out.
Yeah, they're
Looks
calling
good.
it the like marketing materials are calling it an anime, but it's really done in more of like a
Animated.
it's animated, right? It really reminds
Castlevania was
me.
definitely more animated anime than this.
Oh yeah,
This just looks like
100%.
really good game graphics.
Yeah, it looks like it's CG. Like it's
Yeah,
really like
it's very
really
much.
good CG. It's got some vibes of Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. If anyone's familiar with that garbage movie, so
Leon
hopefully,
just better kick, man. I just want to see a nice fucking high kick.
yeah, they didn't show the kick or the knife. The only things Leon's known for. So,
He's got the hair. He's known for that. That nice emo swoop.
and getting beat up by Ada Wong. Those are so we need all that
Yeah,
in Resident
she makes
Evil.
an appearance.
Was she in the trailer? I don't know.
I thought that was her. There was like a woman that I didn't necessarily recognize. They just showed her for a
Mm.
quick second, and I was like, "Ooh, is that her?" So,
Yeah, you can't have
but
a Leon
even if
game.
she's not in the trailer, I would bet money that she makes an appearance in the show.
Yeah, yeah. So, and that's termed a mini series, at least on IMDb. So that might be like a limited series, something like that. You only have so much runway with something like that. We've kind of already seen what these characters are doing for the most part. So you only have so much to work with. Um, or they can just go completely off the rails.
Yeah,
So and Resident Evil
it
is
does.
fine with that as
Wild.
well.
It's wild stuff that
Uh,
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I think have not checked out. Neither of us have checked out the Umbrella Academy, but
No.
with Elliot Page, as a strong representative of like the transgender community now leading a show that's going to be interesting. I think that's going to be a story. I think that's going to be something to watch, and it just adds a little bit more to what's already been a show that people are really digging. So
Yeah, I
I
haven't
did
watched
want
any of
to.
it. I would though.
Yeah,
Just so much stuff.
yeah, so much. uh,
So during Netflix Geeked Week, because Geeked Week is June 7th through the 11th, but on June 10th we have Geoff Keighley's Summer Game Fest that kicks off live on that Friday, June 10th, Thursday, June 10th.
oh, it's
During
a
that,
Thursday.
it is a Thursday, yeah.
Wow.
Um, so the Geoff Keighley's Summer Game Fest will have more than a dozen world premieres and announcements. So that's super exciting. I'm definitely excited about world premieres. What about you?
Yeah, they've announced quite a few developers and publishers that are going to be part of this. I guess they're going to be showing, yeah, like trailers, announcements, that type of thing. They're going to have a kickoff show with some music by Weezer and the companies that have already signed on or been announced at this point are 2K, Activision, Blizzard, Capcom, Epic Games, Sony PlayStation, Riot Games, Square Enix, Ubisoft, and Xbox. So quite, I mean, that kind of
Yeah,
hits all of them, like
some
that.
big, big names.
Yeah, those are the heavy hitters. I don't
Hmm.
know what, each of them are going to have, as far as like new things, but we might get some details on some, things we already know, but maybe we'll see more gameplay or whatever else. But yeah, they said more than a dozen world premieres and announcements is the, phrase that they're using.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll
And
be a lot of mobile games and stuff too. They always do that.
yeah, but Jeff Keighley always brings the goods. I mean, he's
I
got
do really enjoy him as a host.
yeah, he's a great host, and he's just got all these contacts. He seems to get these publishers and stuff to bring their A game. So I think we'll see some cool stuff there. And the Game Fest itself is going to be running. I don't know if they've announced the exact dates. This will be the kickoff on June 10th. They're going to have a like more of a formal presentation and everything else, but the Game Fest itself is going to be, showing things past that, going to have some cool content and probably some additional trailers. So it won't just be June 10th. So, I'm sure Sir Jeff Keighley's going to do it up big.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of rounding out that huge week of video game and otherwise geeky stuff is E3 2021. It's going to be a virtual event this year after being canceled completely last year. And that's going to run from June 12th to the 15th. They're actually going to do a game awards, an E3 game awards to finish it off on the 15th. So that's kind of interesting. That's kind of running in competition a little bit with Jeff Keighley's Game Awards, which we always like checking out. But they've announced once again quite a few publishers and developers that are going to be part of E3.
We have Nintendo, Xbox and Bethesda, Ubisoft, Square Enix, Capcom, Take Two, WB Games, Bandai Namco, Sega, and Gearbot.
So a little bit of overlap there
Hmm.
between companies, but we do have Nintendo on this list, so that'll be interesting to see what they have. A lot of people predicting that we're gonna get like the Switch Pro announcement, maybe a new upgraded version of the Switch. Breath of the Wild 2. Everyone, has been talking about that for forever. We'll see if we get like a release date for either of those things.
Is this just the way that you noted it in the script? On for Geoff Keighley's, you have Microsoft Xbox, and then in E3, Xbox slash Bethesda. And I know that Xbox has purchased Bethesda, but if there was a difference in the listing,
Yeah, so
wonder.
I noted that because for the E3 event, it is a joint event with Xbox and Bethesda. They are going to have a press conference presentation as a joint company. It's going to kind of be their first as a joint company, and Xbox is kind of headlining it, but there's also going to be some Bethesda announcements and some games, as opposed to Bethesda in past E3s has had their own kind of presentation.
Mhm.
They're doing an interesting joint thing. I think that is on the 13th, but I'm not exactly sure the date on that one. Pretty easy to Google that one,
It'll be a
so
lot of stuff.
don't quote me. But yeah, so it's going to be an Xbox Bethesda joint conference where there's been a lot of speculation on what that is going to look like. Starfield is going to be a big part of it. Bethesda's what people are calling Fallout in space. It's going to be their next big AAA title. We've gotten very little information. It's been in development for a long time, and there've
Let
been
that baby
like,
cook.
yeah, but also let's see it. Let's get it out there so that Bethesda can work on, Skyrim 6 or whatever, Elder Scrolls 6, and Fallout 5 or whatever else is next on that. So, yeah, that's actually the Xbox Bethesda one. I'm really interested to see what they have. Like I said, it's the first kind of big presentation that they're going to, like, after the acquisition, after the merger. I'm really excited for what that company is going to be going forward. And hopefully they say sprinkle in some cool stuff in
Hopefully,
that.
they keep putting it on Game Pass. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously they will, but that's what's exciting.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And Square Enix as well. I'm kind of anticipating that one. They're going to be at both Geoff Keighley's Summer Game Fest as well as E3. There's been a rumor about a Dark Souls type game, but set in the Final Fantasy universe called Final Fantasy Origin. That's, I think, about all the details that have released at this point, but love Dark Souls type games and the Dark Souls series, and also more or less love the Final Fantasy universe. Some of those, the games are hit and miss. There's 15 numbered ones, so whatever, they're hit or miss, but that could work. Those, like, a marriage between those two things could really work. And then WB Games, that's another one because they pushed back like Hogwarts Legacy. I know that one was one that you were really
Yeah, I
anticipating.
forgot about that actually.
You're right. They pushed it to next year. So, but who knows? Maybe we'll get some more information, some more gameplay, hard and fast date, something. Maybe it'll be early 2022 as opposed to late, something like that. They've got quite a few things actually. WB Games. There's a Suicide Squad game as well as the new Arkham Knights, I believe is the title. That's like a co-op um, set in the Arkham Asylum universe. So it's a Batman without Batman because it's like Robin and Nightwolf, or not Nightwolf, Nightwing, whatever. Yeah, you know, Dick Grayson and all them, all those Batman guys.
Yes. I wonder if we'll get more information on that um, Aliens game, that like multiplayer
Yeah. Oh
Aliens
gosh,
Left
what
4
was it?
Dead. It just said
Fire Team.
it just said summer, right? Last time we heard.
Yeah,
I think it was just summer 2021.
that would be an interesting thing for them to like stealth drop, honestly. Like
Mhm.
E3 in the past, you've had, companies get up there and say like,
And you
here
can play now.
right, exactly. So that would be a really interesting one. I know Back for Blood is probably going to be part of one of these shows. It's been rumored heavily that we'll get more details on that. That's the Left 4 Dead clone that we've seen a little bit about. So that one, I'm interested in that one. Between that and Fireteam, like those co-op first-person shooters, like horde-based shooters. I'm hoping for a lot of fun. I mean, because Left 4 Dead is now over 10 years old at this point, or Left 4 Dead 2, I think, is over 10 years old at this point. And we haven't really had. It was like World War Z, which I know we played a little bit. That was okay, but I think we need more of those. Those
It
are
just
those are
seems
fun,
so fun to play with people.
right? Right. And Capcom, hopefully, will get some information about maybe Resident Evil 4 remake. That's the next one that
Those are the
everyone,
hopes.
yeah, is talking about, and also Reverse, the like add-on that came with Village, with Resident Evil 8 Village, but like isn't playable at this point yet. Um, we'll see if there's any sort of information on that. That would look kind of interesting. I tried to boot it up and then realized like, oh yeah, that doesn't actually, you can't actually play that yet.
Right.
So, probably before we wrap up, do you have any big prediction or big hope for this summer? All these events, anything you really want to see, or something get announced, or a hard and fast date on something?
I want to say Breath of the Wild. That's probably the one I am looking forward to the most that
Yeah.
we don't already know.
Right, right. Yeah, that's gonna blow everyone's mind regardless. I mean, whatever they do announce it, whether it's here at E3 or something, it's just gonna.
Yeah, I don't have my hopes like too like I don't know if I really expect it, but it would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping that Starfield for the, Bethesda game and Xbox, I think that could potentially be their big ace in the hole, like, hey, this is coming out this holiday or this fall, even something like that. Like, we get it, and it looks good. Maybe we get some gameplay, and it's just the next big Fallout in space.
I'm excited. I like knowing new stuff.
Yeah. So that is our June release schedule, chocked full of stuff. We're gonna have to play a lot of stuff. We're gonna have to watch a lot of stuff. We're gonna watch and stream all of these events constantly. Make a lot of notes. Make a lot of scripts. Make a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, please if you're watching as well, if you see anything that you're excited about, let us know in on Facebook, on Instagram, on the fan group. Leave us a voice message. We want to talk about these things. It's what we love to do.
Yeah, let us know. Let's start a conversation. It's meant to be a community. We get lots of fun questions and lots of fun conversations going on our fan community on Facebook, Monstars. So keep it up, guys, please. Tell your friends about the podcast if you know anyone who likes podcasts. If not, if they're just into all this cool stuff, invite them to the fan group if we haven't already. We wanna build a community there. Our next episode, it's going to be the bracket of nonsense. So we are building the ultimate character bracket. All of our favorite characters throughout video games, movies, and TV shows. We are going to have a March Madness style tournament, pitting them against each other. This is going to be a multi part project. Starting with our next episode, we're going to create a master list of all of our favorite characters on the pod. Then we're going to whittle it down to a bracketable number. We're going to then seed the bracket, 1 through 8 maybe, and have different brackets. And then we're going to have one-on-one matches. So this is going to be a multi-episode project that we're going through, but we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have some nice, spirited discussions on why one character should go forward and others should not. Any predictions, Kayla, on how this is going to go?
I think we will have many overlaps. It's been really hard to come up with the list. I have like such a huge master list that I've been working on for weeks, and I'll just like, oh yeah, add somebody to it, and I just, it's so hard. There's a lot that I like, and there's a lot of times where I feel like I'm really gonna have to make an argument.
I think the most fun and probably frustrating thing is we're gonna have a bunch left off that people are gonna be like, "Oh man, that should have been on the list."
Yeah.
And the rules are, if it's not on the master list when we do our next episode, that's it. So we'll get to all of that in more detail on episode 31, and there'll probably be a lot of episodes on our bracket of nonsense, but we're really excited to get that out there for you. This has been episode 30 of the Machine of Nonsense. As always, we ask you to subscribe to the pod, like our social media posts, share them. Check out our buddy Patrick's Porker and Roundy cartoons. We're going to have him on a future episode again. Check those out. Check out Ryan, our cast member on Twitch. He's been streaming Biomutant. Join our community, the Monstars. Have a conversation with us. Leave us a voice message at anchor.fm/machine of nonsense and tell us what you want to hear on our future episodes. You can hear your voice if you leave us a voice message. We are saying goodbye.
Good night.